TV web channel. Really, it's a great day, 75th anniversary. We are celebrating the great 75th celebration of India. A wonderful journey, 75 years since 1947. Really, we are all very much happy because the nation is celebrating this journey, this saga of India. Really, all are into this program. At this time, we have to retrospect the things because there are so many milestones, so many achievements. Really, there are so many reasons to celebrate this occasion. But at the same time, there are things that we are supposed to consider and we have to strengthen ourselves. So today we have a special person to answer all these questions. Why should we celebrate? Where we are lagging behind? How we can strengthen ourselves in upcoming days? So there are so many questions and so many answers because we have a great eminent author, TEDx speaker, and really just I want to hear about Her Excellency Dr. Sujata Singhi from her own words. Ma'am, over to you. Just we want to hear from you about yourself, please.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rajarao. And it is indeed an honor to be on this platform to speak about the 75th year of Indian independence. Yes, it's a big milestone by the number itself. And here I am, Dr. Sujata Singhi, an author, TEDx speaker, an international speaker, a nation builder, and also a sound and a spiritual scientist who works with regards to sound as medicine and the Vedic systems of the Indian philosophy towards building a better world around us. Yes, India has been the leader in all aspects, be it science, astronomy, astrology, or also with regards to health, medicine, and transportation. You talk about anything, it's always been a leader. But unfortunately, I guess somewhere we have missed it. And people like us are trying to take a step to build India again in a new form and spread happiness.
Yes, Excellency. Really, that's great. People like you are doing commendable job in all fields. Really, when you are talking about that sound therapy, really, we want to hear a lot from you. Okay, we'll do it in next section, but today we'll go with our point. So it's a 75 years journey, so many milestones. As per Dr. Sujata Singhi, what are the remarkable milestones in this journey? Over to you, Hajis.
Yes. First and foremost, we need to congratulate each and every citizen of India who is spread out throughout the world on this 75th year of Indian independence. The reason being, we Indians have stood the strength in the storm. There have been a lot of storms in our lives. Our ancestors, in fact, I would say for 300 years, we have noticed that through history, what has shown, we have lost a lot from ourselves. We have lost our own culture. We have lost our own philosophies. We have lost our own humanity, which was profoundly there in our country. And despite losing all of this in the economic front, the sociological front, philosophical front, the scientific front, we have lost everywhere because we have been invaded. And in this invasion, India still stood strong and it's had tremendous milestones to speak about. Whether it is regards to science, India has gone from moon to Mars. If we talk about medicine, in this pandemic, it is India who has come to the rescue of the whole world. It has believed in the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam and has acted on it. Often people wonder that India is a land of snake charmers and people who worship deities in the form of animals, the elephant head god and the god who has a snake around his neck. But have you ever wondered, why do we Indians worship them? There is a deep science associated to it. And once the people understand this science, I guess India is anyway the world leader in various aspects, but it's also the world leader in spiritual sciences. I would say sciences because now the Westerners have understood this concept and there are more than 50 universities only in US, which is working towards making it a form of education. So keeping this as our base, I would like to talk about, be it sports, be it research and development in space, our ISRO, Indian Institute of Science, our IITs, our IIMs, we have had tremendous growth throughout these institutions. So second, India in education. Third, first I have talked about health, wherein the pandemic has been handled by India. We come about education. Look at the corporate leaders who are leading Indians. Again, let us come to the next aspect of the mortality rate. India is coming almost to the top, wherein we have a mortality rate which has gone down, and expectancy, human expectancy has gone up to nearly the highest in the world. We are 72.19 years old, human expectancy, wherein the world is having 73.19. So we are nowhere behind. India has got its infrastructure, the largest and the strongest infrastructure with regards to railways. India stands first. Again, with regards to the infrastructure in industrialization, India is coming just next to China. So it is not far before we see our GDP becoming the #1 in the world. Again, why talk only about India? Its contribution to the world. India has been that country which has helped hand in hand with the UN and allowed those troops which no other country could do. Again, with regards to its research and development, India has always believed in peace. So it stands #1 in that as well. Now, why do we talk about anything else? What about the human resource? Indian human resource is the youngest in the world, and our youth has shown to have those leadership qualities which the world looks forward to. India has become the ideal for the world to look up to, and the leadership styles which has followed, we have had all these philosophies embedded in our DNA. So Indians, wherever you are, whatever you do, remember the ethics and values which we need to follow is in our DNA. Grow up to it. See that the education that you have had. Look at the gender empowerment which India has now. Look at the education systems that we have. Look at the medical facilities we have. Look at the tourisms we attract. Look at the infrastructure. Look at the economic development. Look at the GDP. Look at the industrialization. Though India is an agrarian country, India has stood up to prove itself that not just agriculture, it has the way to see from Mars to the moon, where the world is still thinking about it. We do not look at invasion. We look at peace throughout the world. And though the country has suffered a lot, it is coming from a space of compassion because it is the land of spirituality. So look at the beautiful bouquet of life which India offers. It has found its strength, sports, medicine, research and development, education, infrastructure, industrialization, agriculture empowerment. It has become the food bowl of the world through the exports of wheat, to the exports of fruits, vegetables, everything edible we find from India. Be proud to see yourself as that Indian who has given the right to be happy to the world. So yes, India has got many, many milestones. I've just touched upon the major 8, but it's got many. You want to know more, you just have to talk to an Indian who's proud to be an Indian, and you will know what India is.
Really, it's like a journey, Excellency, the way you are speaking. Actually, just let me say my experience. While I was interacting with one of our speakers, they said that just we are one step away from becoming a superpower. But you said that we are already superpower.
We definitely are. And we always...
Really, that's so amazing because when she said we are one step away, I feel thrilled. Oh, we are very much close to our destination. But you said that we already reached, and the examples that you have given really fantastic. Especially while you are speaking, the confidence, really, that's amazing, Excellency. Really, nation needs people like you because we have to see India with your eyes. But if you see India with my eyes, there are certain areas where we are lagging behind. So, first of all, I want to talk about the poverty, hunger, death, malnutrition. So there are, of course, the way India handled the pandemic, I appreciate that, but still there are billions of people who suffered. We have also see the other side of the coin. So there are certain areas where we are lagging behind. So they must be addressed. So as per Dr. Sujata Singhi, from the eyes of Dr. Sujata Singhi, where we are lagging behind. Of course, irrespective of all these achievements, milestones, of course, I can agree with you on all these aspects, but still we have to answer some issues where we are lagging behind. So then what are the answers to those puzzles from Dr. Sujata Singhi? Over to you.
Yes, in this brightness, there are also spots of darkness. So we have to look at those dark spots, and how we can handle it is of much importance. Because when the sun is shining bright, it is reaching everywhere, but somewhere there are shades which are not reaching, where the sunlight is not being reached. So those spots we also have. The number one spot which I feel is with regards to malnutrition, as rightly said, because health and education, if these two things are aptly adhered to, addressed, then I guess that country can never have any dark spots. Now, when we talk about malnutrition, though India is an agrarian country, though it has had its green revolution, though it is the largest exporter of wheat and food grains across the world, still there are pockets in parts of India where we find children being in a state of malnutrition. Why? This biggest question is why? Do you feed the world, or do you feed outsiders before you feed your family? What is it that needs to be done? The number one thing which comes to my mind with regards to this issue is we need to have a proper governance system. When we have a proper governance system at the grassroots level, there will be a proper distribution of the basic amenity, basic right of every human being, food. And if it is there, I guess no child would die of malnutrition. No man will go hungry to sleep, because that is a curse, not just for that man, but for every human being. We are all connected. One going home hungry doesn't mean the other person can be happy. Somewhere a part of him is also going to be hungry with regards to being connected. Another very important aspect which I feel is the government has to bring in more technological research and development with regards to enhancing the quality of food. We do not need a mass of grains being made which the nutritional value is being decreased. So next aspect is not just increase or distribute the grains around, but also see to it that it is of good quality, quantity, quality, and distribution. These three things, if we are able to look at and systemize it in such way that is a transparent flow, because India is not having a deficiency of food. It is to regards to the distribution of the food. And ethical distribution of food is very important. We are lucky to have a wonderful climate throughout the country, though it is diverse. We are lucky to have the natural resources which are needed for the grains, the natural resources needed for those nutritious food that we need. But unfortunately, there is a big gap. And I would very openly and very daringly say that system needs to be changed. It is not with regards to the inavailability of resources. It is with regards to the ability of the system to allow these resources to reach to the lowest rung of the community. Every citizen has a right of the food which is grown in his country. So I would say first problem is food. And the second problem which I see is the drain of the think tank of our country. We have very, very, I would say, intelligent strategists in our country, students, IITians, IIM, to name a few. Why do they leave our country no sooner they graduate? Why can't we have very good opportunities for those students to build up Startup India? Let them have a norm wherein after you have graduated, work for 2 years in India, only then you can fly the nest. Why can't that be done? The next aspect is with regards to health facilities in India. Various schemes have been made, but why is it not reaching the lowest rung? Why is it again where power comes into play when there is a crisis? Let it be transparent. The next aspect is with regards to the governance, let each man be reachable to the leaders of the country. Because if that is possible, the voice of the common man will be heard, because his problems are different than what is seen as a bird's view. Let every man come up and speak and show. Just like in this platform, we are speaking. Every day we are speaking on the 17 SDGs of the UN, because all this is about humanitarian leadership. The similar way can be done wherein each and every citizen has a voice to speak. Now, again, everything culminates to being transparent with regards to governance. The next aspect which comes to my mind is we are not lagging behind in anything. Our GDP is wonderful. So why not make it a GDKP? That is, allow the knowledge component to come in. Gross domestic product, yes, we are producing goods and based on that produce, we are getting our GDP. But what about the knowledge component? The knowledge component which India is giving to its students, the knowledge component which the students are giving to the world. Why shouldn't that be included? So GDP should be made as GDKP, that is gross domestic knowledge product, and then India is number one and not number two. So I guess these things, if they are addressed, India is anyway the leader, global leader. It has become actually an ideal. So we need to shine as we truly are and not hide behind the scenes. A little bit of changes here and there with these four components, and India is anyway the leader.
Thank you, Excellency. Thank you so much. Really, on this special day, as we are celebrating Independence Day, really, you have doubled our happiness. That's so, because people have to see India through the eyes of Dr. Sujata Singhi ji. I hope so, because so much of positivity, so much of confidence. That's so great, Excellency. But we have a question for you. Actually, we want to argue on so many issues because so that we can get so much of information from you. But we'll do that in the coming programs so that we'll get the philosophy, because the important thing is philosophy that we want to obtain from you. We'll do that in coming programs. But the last question is, what is the responsibility and what is the contribution of Dr. Sujata Singhi towards our nation? That is the first question, because you said you are the nation builder. So my question is, what is the contribution of Dr. Sujata Singhi towards our nation, and what is the message of Dr. Sujata Singhi towards our society and our youth? Please.
Yes, as a speaker and nation builder, why do I put it as nation builder? Because I had the opportunity and the honor to train the bureaucrats of India. So that was the first thing wherein I was training them on the various, I would say the various aspects which we cannot actually open up, but yes, there were various aspects which I had to train them on. And secondly, as a trainer for the youth, wherein I see that when I'm training the youth public leaders and the leaders in public governance under democratic leadership. Now, these are very special programs wherein I take up trainings to train.
Welcome to Times India TV web channel. Really, it's a great day, 75th anniversary. We are celebrating the great 75th celebration of India. A wonderful journey.
Culture, to its history, to its philosophies. And the second thing is, see to it that you start owning things rather than just knowing. Many people say, yes, I have studied so much and I know so much, but are you practicing it? Are you owning it? Are you making it a part of your life? I have seen people speaking about environment, but at the same time holding a plastic bag in the hand. So yes, knowing versus owning is very important. Choose owning. Knowing you can know from anywhere, but once you know, start owning it. The next aspect is always look at what you can give. This is the biggest question. What can I give? On the contrary, there are people who say, what will I gain? Let's turn this table and say, what is it that I can give? And if you understand this question, there is a deep understanding of why we humans are together on this planet. We are going to give each other, and in return, we receive manifold. But if you focus on receiving, our giving becoming less, the cycle becomes smaller, and you will receive minuscule. So yes, what can I give? The next aspect, I would say that please be very aware about your environment. Be very cautious about your environment, because if your home is not clean, if your home is not a safe place for you to live, how do you expect to grow? The environment awareness is very important. The next aspect is, there are many points which I have for the youth, because I speak for the youth and the women empowerment. There are a lot of points which I have in mind, which is running in my head. But as the next thing, most important aspect which I look at is increase your capacity through education, through taking care of your health, through being in community services, through seeing your environment, to looking at how you can give. All these things are going to create a conducive environment for your growth. And one most important thing which I would like to share, not for the youth, this is something which I want to share with the governing companies. I mean, the organizations which are taking care of it, of course, The center as well, which is taking the finance ministry and the HRD ministry, there is one important thing which I want to tell is, please look at how it is going to affect our nation in the next, not 5 years, that is till the next election, but see to it what it can do to our nation when the children of today who are born today will become the youth, and how will they see India. If we cannot have that in mind, if you're going to look short term, we are not going to have responsible citizens. So what our leaders do today is of much importance, and the youth are only going to follow and grow in that environment which the leaders create. So I guess this is a golden time for the leaders, for the youth, and for all the people who are in this era to see India shine bright. See that the inflation is curbed. See that the education is given at a place where there is more of transparency. See that the public governance is easier. See that the reachability is there for the youth to connect to the center and ask questions. There are various other things. Of course, this talk can go on for us, but I would like to share that these are some of the points which I have experienced personally, and I have seen that where we are having a setback. And that is why I have put up these thoughts. There would be many, many more, and I know they are, which are also running in my head. But due to the time constraint, some of the important things which even I have seen is what I have shared. Youth, you are the hope, you are the power. Stay strong.
So great, that's so great. Actually, here you are the power. You are the power to youth, because that positivity you can inject into the minds of youngsters. That's really awesome. Really, we are expecting that so many episodes we are supposed to do on several topics. We'll do in future, certainly, because we have to create that awareness and we have to inculcate that positivity into the minds of youngsters. Thank you so much for Dr. Sujata Singhi for joining and giving so much valuable information on this special day. And once again, happy Independence Day to you and all our Times India TV audience. Bye. We'll meet in next program.